I'm gonna be completely real with you all. I do not know anything about Superman. I know some very basic level stuff, such as how he likes to protect people because it's a good thing to do. I know he has a girlfriend named Lois Lane. I know his arch enemy is named Lex Luthor. I know he has a weakness to kryptonite. I know his origins are that his parents sent him to Earth to save him from his home planet blowing up, but I do not know anything beyond those basic points. Me and my brothers were always more so Batman fans growing up, and my only real exposure to Superman was through crossover films. Because of that, I thought my approach for talking about the new Superman movie would come off as weak because of my severe lack of knowledge for the character, but after going to the theaters and watching it with my friend, I can safely say that this movie is not only really newcomer friendly, but it's also just an incredible and awesome experience overall. James Gunn, who created the Guardians of the Galaxy films, aka my favorite Marvel films next to Infinity War, took this story and not only acting as a reboot of the Richard Donner and Zack Snyder iterations, but actually did something in a way that doesn't just retell his origin story again for the billionth time like most other superhero film reboots, which is a decision I am so glad they made. Yes, they do briefly explain it at the beginning of the film, but it's more so in a quick way that is easy to get the gist of, especially for people like me who aren't really too familiar with the character to begin with, and thus they are allowed to just tell an interesting story. To give you a little spoiler-free plot summary, Superman, played by David Corn Sweat, is someone who came from the planet Krypton, which was destroyed after his parents sent him to Earth, ultimately saving his life and sacrificing theirs. He is then raised under the identity of Clark Kent with his adopted parents on a small farm in Smallville, Kansas. Inspired to be a hero by his biological parents' message, which was damaged halfway, he becomes Superman, and not only becomes the most powerful metahuman on Earth, but also dedicates his life to doing good and protecting those around him because it's the right thing to do. As Clark Kent, though, he works as a journalist in Daily Planet in Metropolis alongside his co-worker Jimmy Olsen, played by Skylar Gisondo, and his girlfriend Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Whom he's trying his best to maintain a relationship with. One day, his arch nemesis Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, steals the message from his biological parent and broadcasts it to the public, revealing that they wanted Superman to use the people of Earth to rebuild the Kryptonian race. This, of course, turns the public opinion against the hero, and he must prove to the world once again that his purpose in life is to do good and protect others. Alright, first off, this movie makes great use of its large cast of characters. I've heard some people complain about how the large amount of characters makes the plot feel a little bloated, and yeah, there are a few like Jimmy Olsen and his girlfriend played by Sarah Sampaio, who I didn't really care for at all, and thought they weren't really necessary, but other than those two, every character honestly plays a great role in this movie. Yes, other DC superheroes may be in this film, such as Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Metamorpho, but they don't overstay their welcome, and they actually contribute to the plot in good ways that don't make them steal the spotlight from Superman. The way they also utilize Krypto the Superdog was also really smart, and I love how they didn't overuse him just for marketing purposes, despite him being a large part of that. Even on Google, when you look up this movie, he has his own special button, which really tells you that they were trying to make him one of this movie's biggest selling points, but thankfully, he was just nothing more than a cute side gag that didn't really have too much screen time in the movie. And I really love these cameos from Will Reeve as a news reporter, portrayed in a great way to honor his father, Christopher Reeve, and there's even a funny marketing move for the upcoming second season of Peacemaker. I even love how Lois Lane gets time to shine in this movie, as she gets to contribute to the mission and even help Superman save the day. However, the best performances easily have to go to David Corenswet as Superman and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and the latter just gives off that extreme hater energy, and I absolutely adore it. This man literally does everything in his power to take Superman down, and he is absolutely dedicated to this grudge, to the point where watching him go the extra mile on his evil plans, or seeing him crash out over something not going his way, was extremely entertaining in every way possible. David, on the other hand, puts on a perfect performance as the titular hero. Superman's struggles of not only trying to protect everyone, maintain his relationship with Lois, and dealing with false propaganda against him are not only very sympathetic, but it makes you appreciate him as a character more when you learn that his only purpose is to just do good in life and protect those around him. And protagonists with a pure heart of gold is something I am always down for when done right. This is improved even further when you consider his dynamics with characters such as other heroes and even his rivalry with Lex Luthor. However, the two relationships that were really investing and emotional for me were those with his girlfriend Lois Lane and trying to form and maintain a relationship with her, and even his relationship with his adopted parents, I really wish got more screen time, because wow, are their scenes just so wholesome to watch, especially that scene with his adopted father, which really made me tear up a bit. Like, wow, that scene just warmed my heart in such a great way. The only issues I do have with this movie are, of course, the subplot with Jimmy, which I already touched on, and also the humor isn't very good, and a small number of effects do look a little cheap for a modern day big budget superhero live action film. In terms of the humor, it's kind of your run-of-the-mill corny jokes that we've seen a million times in other superhero movies, especially the MCU, and the only really funny scenes come from the Krypto bits, which weren't really too much of, thank God, but 90% of the jokes really just came off as kind of lame and generic. And most of the CGI effects and action sequences are amazing as expected, don't get me wrong, but there are just a few shots that do look a little unfinished, and yeah, that kind of stinks seeing that in a big budget superhero 2025 film, but it's nowhere near as bad as the CGI in movies like The Flash. Thankfully, these aren't problems that ruin the experience or bring it down a ton as a whole, and the overall movie is still a great start to a brand new era of DC films, and if they continue to go down this route, their future is looking brighter than ever. A very high 8 out of 10, bordering on a 9. If you are a fan of comics at all or are willing to get into the DC universe, this is a pretty good choice to start with, as you will not only be very entertained by the action and the story, but you will just have a great time rooting for the character and relating to his struggles and his purpose in life. And it's just such a great experience. Like, if you haven't seen a single DC film or seen any DC show in your life, you don't have to worry. This is a very good start to the brand new era of DC films that are to come. So anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more movie, TV show, and game reviews and analysis, and keep calm and let life carry you on.